right, Jimmy, your mom's gonna get high. You're gonna finish that croissant.
No, because that's where more. Listen, that was the line. Okay, we know like Nintendo had Mario and you had Sonic, right? But then we had Street Fighter, which was nowhere near as violent as Mortal Kombat. You guys were dark. Dark.
Well, nothing compared to today.
Facts, absolute facts. It didn't count. It did not count. Yeah. It was like a Mortal Kombat that didn't have like fatalities. It was like they had like high fives. Like that didn't count. Like that was.
You had to do a cheat to get it, but cheat code to do to get the fatalities and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But my first ever console was the Sega Dreamcast.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Boston, are we in this room? Are we here? Are we representing?
Yeah.
Nah, Boston. I need y'all to represent because we need to make some noise and show all the love for Mr. Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah. Gotta go fast. Yeah.
I literally saved y'all because these are Elmos, right? And this is for like the art drawing stuff. And this was still on, so if you, as you sat down, it was gonna be like right in your face and on the screen. So I just saved your life. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So
Elmo don't eat your son. Elmo.
You're like, these are Elmos, and I was like,
you're like, where?
You pointed down here. I was like, all of you are cosplaying as Elmo. You're doing a really horrible job. None of you look like Elmo. I don't know if you're aware of that, right? Maybe.
Elmo is Dr. Eggman?
Elmo?
That's what these are called. So like if you were to lift up the laptop.
Which I'm not going to.
Smart man.
No.
These are transmitting visually down. So like people are doing sketches.
So when it is, Butch Hartman, when I see him doing his thing, he's using
Elmo. That's an Elmo.
Okay.
That's what we call it.
All right.
Elmo with elbows. That's how we do it.
Hi! What is the Elmo? Does anybody know where the Elmo comes from?
I don't know. Yeah, it's the term.
Why not just call it a top-down camera?
Because Elmo sounds cooler.
Okay, true.
That's all I got. That's all I
true.
Why don't they call it
Top down.
Again, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
If you ever look at computer parts, one is like label 10, the next one after that is label 7.
There you go.
That's wrong.
Makes perfect good sense, yes. Engineers.
What it might be is that the framework for the puppetry of Elmo is actually just, no. I was gonna, if you believe me, that was a lie.
I was going along for it.
Yeah, be careful, the chairs, they move, but it's nice.
Wow.
I found that out too.
Elmos and
these are ab workout chairs.
I was just gonna say.
I'm gonna give me this chair.
Yeah. Why? We don't know. Okay, all right. What are the three names?
Sounds about like theater.
Spotlight. Wait, what? Wait, did you just curse me? What is that? Helico? Helico. Okay. Source 9.
Okay, now this is again like and if there's two of those things next to each other, one is source 9 and the other one is source 70.
Yep. Every time.
There you go.
All right. So guys, welcome to Boston. How we doing? How's today been treating? Yeah, I'm trying to get Yes?
Let's sing on. Yes, it's totally on. What am I talking about?
Tell us stories. Regale us, please.
Well,
if you can.
Gale.
Gale Force Winds.
Yeah, Gale Force Winds. Definitely got caught in that storm.
Did you? No.
Oh, we did.
Great.
Yeah.
Like walking down by the water, and I was like, those clouds are really dark over there, and they're not that far away.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me pull out my little lightning app. I'm like, oh, there's like lightning strikes, like a crazy band of lightning that's happening. It's like, I think it's all of that's over there.
It's not on the app.
It's getting really windy.
Yeah.
Within 5 minutes, just soaked.
Wow.
Soaked. Yeah, it was great.
So sincerely, thank you for being here.
And surviving. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Wow.
We heard there were Elmos.
Yeah. No,
some Elmos.
when we said Boston brings the thunder, we didn't know what we meant, but we see. So all these folks here are in this room because they hate video games. Like I was pulling them earlier, and they're like,
you thought there was like a live feed of the Celtics game right now?
Literally, like we're about to drop. There's a big TV behind us.
Figured. Okay.
That's literally what they're waiting for, is to watch the game. But no, so video games is such an amazing part of pop culture, and it has captured imaginations for decades. So I first have to know, for all of them, what was your first video game?
Well, I guess I can start with, I guess it was a toss-up between like, just Mario, because we had the NES.
Wow. How do you feel?
Really offended right now.
Right?
Really offended by Sonic.
I'm contractually obligated, I have to say that. It's, unless it's the Olympics, and then it's okay. Sorry, Mario. Typically
His dad just like,
well, who? Yeah. Still no clue that we're talking about it right now.
It's in a happy place. It's in a happy
Yeah,
place.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just trying to find a mushroom or something, I guess.
Still has no clue that we're all just
Looking for a tunnel. Looking for a tunnel.
The beef is alive in real.
Mario.
Hi, Mario.
Oh, hi. It's you.
I just totally waited for him to be like, it's a
Oh no.
So, okay, so Mario was your game.
Mario is my game.
Yes.
Also.
Was it your first console, though?
My first what?
Your, like,
I heard Grontal. It was like
console.
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 The NES.
Introduction to video games
Yes.
was a Nintendo 64?
Aside from like little
or
computer
Nintendo
games.
NES,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, an NES. And then we did a lot of track and field and duck hunt.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
duck hunt.
You had the pad?
Yeah.
You had the...
Yeah. Well, you did it with your feet. We did it with our hands.
Oh, that's
We
cheating!
No, don't shame me. Somebody gets
it's
after
okay,
the fact.
okay. Winning is winning. I get it. I get it.
When you're beating your sisters, you do everything.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's all fair and love and glory. I got that.
Fun memories.
Roger, what about you?
In television, I go back to like
Television,
the
that's
80s,
what I'm
like,
talking about.
I remember like 1982, I think it was, that we woke up on Christmas and my dad had gotten us an Intellivision. Wow. And we all played Astro Smash.
Yes.
And and then like Tank Battle, and like my brother and I would play baseball and football, and it was like, and it was hilarious because we think back to those days now where you just go like, oh man, the graphics are so much better than the Atari, you know. And then you look back at like graphics from like the Intellivision, and you're like, oh, it's like, wow, how did we think? You know, there's a lot of imagination. It was a lot of like, you're like, it's sort of like Zaxxon, but nothing like what we see in the arcades kind of thing. It's like that square is your ship, and the smaller squares coming out of that square are the bullets, and you're like, okay, it's like it's so real. No, but it was in television, and then it was like, gosh, I never had like all through like middle school, high school, I never had a console. It was mostly like in like right up until about maybe middle school, and we had like I think we had like the Atari 6400, but was that the one with the keyboard on it?
Yeah, yeah.
And play games like Sirius.
Okay.
And like weird things like it's like early versions of like, I wouldn't even know how to describe the game. Like you would like type in commands and be like, you know, ask the bartender for a mug of ale, you know, and then it would like reply, the bartender gives you a mug of ale and then gives you directions to go
I feel like
find
that was like the
it,
precursor to Sims or something.
Yes,
like that.
yes.
Yeah. That's
And our favorite thing was to, anytime you had any random character, ask them for a kiss. And the response was always get your mind off sex and return to the game or something like that. Like, wow. It's like, wow, it's aggressive. Yeah. It's like, I wasn't asking for it. It was just a kiss. You know?
It's a very evangelical system
Yes,
right there.
it was quite, yes.
How very dare you.
But no, I go back to Intellivision. That's why it's like, given what we do today.
Yeah.
I can remember being in middle school and playing, and seeing, like, you know, the Sega Genesis system being advertised in like the Sonic the Hedgehog game, and just going, what on earth? Like, I'd never seen anything that fast, and then to now be this age, you know, except what? Just the fast thing.
Yeah.
It had to go fast.
Never seen anything that fast. It's just you saying that is, I don't know. I can't.
Well, it was blast processing. I mean, it was a lot of, it was, but it was. I mean, I don't know. Like Sonic blew my mind the first time I saw it because it was just like side-scrolling that quickly. I was,
right.
Yeah, and I was terrible at it. Still am.
I mean, That's fair. That's fair. Because I mean, it's good. When it comes to playing games, there's a different skill set. Like obviously.
You talking? No.
Just trying to make Roger feel better.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Just trying to help him out. But no, like when it comes to playing games, there's such a great like community building that happens around video games. Can you tell us a story, if there is one, of a friend of yours that was brought into your circle via video games, or maybe where they had a gaming system that you didn't have, and that's why you were friends with them?
But that's not friends.
Huh? I disagree. I disagree.
This sounds like we need to be asking you some questions.
What are you talking about? What are you talking
What's it
about?
like when you use someone just for their console?
That sounds like player 2 energy. That's what it sounds like to me.
I will say there was a buddy of mine like in like elementary school that I think, now that I think back on it, just to play Metroid. I think I hung out with Jack quite a few times.
See?
Like, just went over to his house, smelled like cats. But he had Metroid. It was really cool. Yeah.
See?
I'm
a
a terrible human being.
No, not terrible.
And for everybody who laughed because you know what we're talking about, you're also terrible. We're all in good company.
That's what happens. No, I mean, because I think that's part of the culture of gaming, right? Is that one of the things that is so great is like you have something that I enjoy, and I have something that maybe you enjoy, and so we don't both have to have it. This kind of builds that sensibility. Is
that gaming? Is that what you're describing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right? No, is that just me? Am I weird like that?
It just sounds like a relationship.
And that's what gaming does. Right? Yes. We're all better now. But no, I think that that's one of those cool things about gaming that we all kind of come up with. And that was even before that, you know, video games had voices. That's something I think you guys have now added to build in that sense of community is we can hear these characters that we've loved for so very long. So this is the segue.
Nicely done.
Right?
It's like, oh,
thank you. It's like, oh, we're going to be here.
Do that on a segue.
Done. Next time. But no, so like to join into this evolution of video games and to be a part of this new wave where now we can hear these characters that we've loved and things like that. How does that feel for you guys as actors to be a part of this new, we'll say, experience for gaming?
How can I even say? I mean, it's madness. It's the coolest. It's the coolest thing because our backgrounds. I should speak for myself and not talk for other people. But like, I'm an actor, and all I want to do is communicate with people, and your voice is your longest arm, so to speak. So to have games and to be able to provide voices and also, you know, channel characters through that, it really is the dream. It's such an amazing way of being an actor.
Of course.
And yeah, and to be able to meet all the people around, you know, people who congregate around these games, enjoy them, play with friends, have family experiences, overcome disabilities, just have a good time, all the things. We get to hear all those stories. So it's like a big layer cake of all these different stories that are all packed into one experience of voicing a game in and out of the games.
I love it. That's awesome.
I don't know that it's a layer cake. It's more like a 7-layer dip.
Donut. Fine, it's donut, okay? With sprinkles.
It would be... no, it is absolutely surreal because I'm sitting there talking about like in television and thinking back to like how we started and what gaming was for me being younger and growing up and whatnot, and then to be a part of these things now. And it's funny because you'll try to explain to like family and friends that don't understand what we do or just sort of like unfamiliar with the whole process or have never been to like a convention like this, and they just go, what is it? How does it work? What is this thing? And people will stand in a line to talk to you? Like, why? I know you. You're not worth talking to. It's like, I mean, no, it's this thing. It's this thing that we are so fortunate to be like maybe the closest sort of tangible representation of something like a character or a game. And I get it because I mean I can think of like moments of like in my late 20s of like so excited to get off my job as a barback at Dave & Buster's and go home and know that I could like stay up for the rest of the night and just fall asleep playing Halo single player campaign and just like excited to get home kind of thing. And then you get to be a part of something like that now, and somebody gets to come up and tell you, it's like, hey, I was laid up in the hospital with a surgery, and you know, the one thing they had was an Xbox, and then I started playing Assassin's Creed, and it was like, and that was my recovery, and so like that character and that time in my life like meant so much to me. And so getting to share in that experience with people and understand where it's coming from, it's just incredible. You know, it's bizarre to go from, oh my God, I was, speaking of Halo, like I can remember, I was laughing the other day going, I don't know, I think it might have been like one of the best times in life was, it was before Xbox Live existed. And you could do Halo on like a local area connection, like a LAN connection. Like you could network the Halo, or you could network your Xbox. But somebody came out with like this software that if you logged onto it online and then gave it like the IP address of like your buddy, you know, that kind of thing, it would trick the Xboxes into thinking they were all on the same little local area connection.
Oh wow!
So you could find a way to play Xbox with your friends. So then you would like, my brother and I would call each other like on our cell phones, or like, you know, like there was all these things. And then there was a night that like my friends and I, we all like went to a house in Santa Barbara, and everybody, like I think 8 of us, brought like all their Xboxes and their own TVs. They're carrying like these heavy, you know, ginormous, like, you know, like it's a 20-inch TV and weighs 800 pounds. And it's like, and we brought out, and we were the biggest nerds, but we all sat there in one house and ran all the Ethernet cable and all the switches and everything, and we all like networked our
your parents loved
drives.
you for that.
No, there were no parents home. But we were also in our late 20s, so it was like a little bit of a different time. But it was like, I just remember thinking back on that and going like, man, that was, yeah, what, right? Like how much has evolved, and like now, then to think of like you say, like social gaming and that kind of thing, just like where it's all at, to now meeting people and having people want to meet you for like being a part of something like that. It's incredible. It's not lost on us either. It's like honestly, you come to these things and we hear so many stories, and some of them are just incredibly, they have an incredible impact on you. And there was a gentleman in London that I met that just was sitting there telling me something about a very, very, very bad time in his life. And as a result of this situation, I'll be as vague as possible, it was recommended that he start doing something as a distraction. He got into playing Sonic, and he's explaining all this stuff to me, and he says, and it was the difference in my life, and he says, and I'm married now, I have a baby on the way, and there was a woman standing behind him who was just kind of smiling, and I was like, is that your wife? And he goes, oh yeah, that's my wife. I was like, she can come talk to you. And it was just the neatest thing. You just go, yeah, that's the power of like something where I walk in, it's a job, we walk in, you know, I always make the joke, it's like my job is to walk in and make duck farts into a microphone for a living. We go do that, and it's like we focus on the job very often. It's like, you know, it's like I want to, sorry, I'm a professional.
That was a duck fart right there.
Yeah, that was actually my voice. I'm that good. And so it's a job, and you think of it that way, and you try to execute for, you know, for your director and for the clients and that kind of thing, and then it gets taken and put into these things that very often we're not even able to see like early on in the process, and then all of a sudden it's like it comes out and people spend 60, 80, 100, 1,000 hours playing these things, and you just go, oh, that's right. And then we get to hear, you know, how special it is to be a part of something that's that big.
I love it.
Yeah, amazing.
Make some noise for that, y'all. One time.
Oh, no, thank you.
Now, Patricia, you kind of can represent a whole other faction of gaming from female players, and the perspective of ladies being involved in gaming, which has constantly been, you know, kind of considered a male-centric sort of event, but to, you know, represent ladies by having your voice attached to such a prominent character in the mythos of gaming. How does that feel and ride for you as an actor?
I think I can answer this.
Wow! The smoothness of it too. That's what made it so
He wants Sonic to be like.
Yeah, I think, I mean, in terms of representation in general, which is, you know, it's getting better. It's getting a lot better. Obviously, there are many imperfections and many things that we all want to improve, just in terms of all kinds of representation in games. It has been interesting traveling around around the U.S., around to different countries, and being a sort of first voice of something. people like to bring that fact up, and I think it has resonated a lot with, I would say, a lot of people who feel underrepresented. And they like the fact that they want to meet somebody who's done the first voice and say, how does that feel? Right. And I feel like my answer for that has changed over the years, but when it first came out, I was kind of not petrified by it, but I was like, I feel like I have this big weight of responsibility to just be like good and courageous and show well to the world and the people that I'm meeting, because I do want to be a mentor and an inspiration to people. I still feel that way, but I also I'm just a little more chill about that now. I mean,
nothing wrong with that. You're more comfortable with it.
Yeah. Or maybe I've just kind of embodied my own version of how to do this well for myself. Of course. If I'm going to be meeting a lot of people publicly, but it's been a wild ride, and it's funny to feel like I'm the first voice of something. I don't feel I'm just myself. You know, I feel mute all the time in my own life, or, you know, have imposter syndrome. I do all these other things. But maybe it's good to remind me, like, oh yeah, you are that too. Everybody could be this. Everybody could be a first voice of something.
That's awesome. That's like the most powerful thing ever. Make some noise for that, y'all.
Duck farts.
So this panel is called Sonic versus Zelda.
Why?
And we don't know. Why? We don't know. Versus is funny. But I'm just curious, what would you describe a game, or how would you describe the game where you would be versus one another? What kind of game would that be? Would it be a Smash Brothers? Would it be something, you know, actual epic, long chapter? How would it work?
Frontiers of the Kingdom.
You just made everybody happy.
It's a lot better than Breath of the Hedgehog. No one wants to play Breath of the Hedgehog.
I disagree now. I think like
Roger, you win.
Actually, we got one right back here. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
right.
You would play Breath of the Hedgehog. It'd be the first like scratch and sniff video game. Why is there mist coming out of the front of that? That's the Breath of the Hedgehog. Smells like chili dogs.
No, don't open that. Don't.
Yeah, exactly.
It smells like chili dogs.
It smells like chili dogs.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
Zelda eats apples, okay? Like, she's got great breath. And, yeah, this is
absolutely. She's juicy. She's juicy. How are you most like?
Question.
How are you most like the characters that you've embodied in video games?
I hate apples too.
Wow.
Actually, my dad's a dentist, so there is a running joke. Actually, my dad and my sister are both dentists. They're like, apple a day, keep the dentist away. They're like, not my family. I like frogs, though, but I don't eat, I usually don't eat them.
I was going to say, we've been in New Orleans.
That's true.
Usually.
Yeah, usually don't eat them.
Sometimes.
Like, how am I like Sonic?
Sure.
My arms aren't blue? Or are supposed to be blue or not blue, or like the controversy over Sonic Boom. Thank you.
There you go.
The
chest is...
I don't know. I guess I go fast. I guess sort of like I do tend to go fast. I need to slow down a little bit more. I'm zooming.
You're very quick-witted.
Individual.
Very quick-witted. Yes.
I've been known to kiss a princess or two.
That's why Patricia's here. She's like, what's up?
Sonic 06. Exactly. People are like,
that's what the versus is. That's what it is.
Exactly. No, it's always kind of funny. It's like there is nothing funnier than when you start like serious questions about this. You know, like the Sonic Frontiers version of Sonic now is that it was a much more serious Sonic game. Right. You know, and you're like, it's a very serious game about a shocking blue hedgehog.
Who's an avatar for life, okay? Like, yes, come on, exactly. It's a metaphor.
Oh, yeah, say the metaphor. Yeah, no, I get it. No, I don't.
Mario looked up like, what?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's a metaphor. Yahoo! Yeah, loyal to my friends.
I like it.
No, if anything, it would be more like Mirage, I guess, from Apex would be closer to me as an identifiable kind of thing. Just like the the bravado up front and then just the shame and like everything that happens at the tail end of his lines, where it's like it's pure, you know, he's like cockiness, you know, and then all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, but no, I'm sorry, and that's more about me.
Okay, all right, I got you.
I would say I'm angsty. I'm a little nervous and kind of a little type A, and I do like frogs.
Fair, because they are delicious.
Yes, exactly. A little bit of butter.
That's what she said. Yeah.
Salt.
We're frying. Yeah. We're going to throw things to you guys so you can ask a couple of questions. But my last one for you, before we go to the fans, if you had to build a team of video game characters to fight one another.
Oh.
Yeah. Obviously, Zelda is the captain of her team. Sonic is the captain of his team. Who are the other three that you would use to beat the other team?
Link.
Oh, that's rude. That is rude. So rude.
Already got him.
So
sorry. Yeah.
Wow.
It's about winning.
Wow.
It's called Sonic versus, what is our panel called? Like, why is it versus? We were laughing about this, like, Sonic versus Zelda. I'm going Link, number one.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and forth. Okay.
Yeah.
Eggman.
Nice.
Have you seen what he's capable of?
Wow.
Enjoy that.
Wow. Disrespect.
I'm gonna go with Ash from Rainbow Six for my second one.
Okay.
She's the voice of Ash in Rainbow Six.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is dirty pool.
Yeah.
Batman.
Ooh.
Patricia's back in the game. Okay.
Cool.
That's what you're doing. Last one.
Mario. You and me. Yeah. Yahoo.
You do that 3 times, Charles shows up.
Yeah, every time I say that, Charles gets paid.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to go Princess Peach because we need some princess power.
Ooh, I like.
All
right.
Like Princess Blade.
So class.
Princess Link.
Which
Which one wins? Which team wins?
Yeah, which team? How many of you guys are Team Zelda?
Okay. Yeah.
How many of you are Team?
No.
How many of you are Team Sonic? Not bad.
Both were called smatterings of applause.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
All right, so we're gonna start off. You've had your hand up for like 2 days now, so it's all good.
By the way, may I just point out too, this is one of my favorite things about doing like panels in rooms that are this size. With microphones. Project our voices so you guys can all hear what we're saying.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, your first question. You, right there. No, for the folks in the back who can't hear us, you, right here, yes, go ahead and stand, so that everybody can see you.
Take it away.
You're going to really have to project because there are people who cannot hear or even see you.
I'm just a shadow. So, I was gonna ask, how was it like to...
He said, I was going to ask.
How was it like to reprise your role in Sonic X Shadow Generation?
Oh, phenomenal. So Sonic X Shadow Generations or .com.org.edu is phenomenal. It was Generations. The initial recording for Generations was one of my sort of favorites. I had like a fun time working with that because it was fun to play with the idea of classic Sonic and modern Sonic, and so the idea that we have this year of Shadow,
Yeah.
I know, it's a bit much, I'll be honest. Shadow doesn't need a year. Like, it could have been the 5 minutes of Shadow and we would have all been happy and we could have just moved on. No, but it's really neat to see, like, with the tie-in with the films and everything that's happening, it's like, it's cool. And the idea that they're going back and kind of revisiting things, it's like, starting to make me feel old. Like, we're going back and doing that already? Like, holy cow, 14 years, yeah, wow, we've been doing this a while. Yeah, it's nuts. But yeah, I'm stoked to be back and I can't wait for everybody to see it because it's like they're doing some really fun things, so
That's awesome. It's gonna be good. Sonic?
Me?
Yep.
No, the other Sonic. No, I'm joking.
Oh, there is another one.
Yeah.
He was talking to me.
What's it like to literally just hear your voice while playing like a Sonic game?
That, well, like any of us could answer that. Like any time, I think as an actor, that's a great question, because as an actor, I think every time I hear it, I go, oh.
Mixed bag. Mixed bag.
That's what that's the one they went with. That's the line they chose. Like, you know, because it's an interesting thing being a voice in a game and then going home and playing that game is A, utterly surreal, and it's a blast. But then as an actor, I think if you're like me, I think most people, like, I don't know, anybody really enjoy the sound of their own voice? You ever hear like a voicemail you've left and you're like, whoa, one in the back. But no, it's like, and I'm the same way. I hear things and I just go, is that what I sound like when I'm talking? I'm like, wow. And with Sonic, it's that kind of a thing. So it never gets old. Don't get me wrong, because you do just kind of go, wow, I'm in a video game. You know, like it's utterly surreal.
Every time like I record my voice, it always just sounds like so different.
Yeah, exactly. We all do.
Exactly.
It's because when you think about like what we hear, like you ever have a really bad cold, and you're like, and it's like inside your head, like that's. I think we hear ourselves in such a vastly different way than the rest of the world experiences us. So whenever I hear it played back, I'm always like, but mostly from an acting perspective, I don't know if you're the same way. I'm always like, oh, I could have done that so much better.
No, never.
Perfect.
It's always good when she does
Yes.
it. Absolutely.
I will say, for people who are studying to be voice actors, one of the good exercises that you can do and should do are tests on a mic and listen to how it changes your voice and listen back to that a lot to get used to what it feels like and what it actually sounds like. And then what it sounds like when it's coming through, you know, if it's up close or far away, and how that changes. So, you know,
it really, it's a tool that once you start to really kind of work with things, it's like there are different techniques. I mean, obviously for Batman, there's nothing funnier than when somebody asks for the Batman voice, and it's at a really noisy convention, say, which is this is not. Thankfully, that's just so great for us as voice actors that we don't have to be yelling over like a concert going on the stage right next to us, kind of thing. But I always laugh when people go like, you know, hey, could you do like a line from Arkham Origins? And you'll sit there like at a noisy convention and want to go like, listen to me, what's over with? So I can't even hear it. I go, I know, because I'm working with a large diaphragm, super expensive microphone that can get these resonant, like low-end tones that get your chest resonance, like all this kind of stuff. And so yeah, it's a total tool. Like we use this like the camera. It's just, that's great.
Yeah, this is our Elmo.
That's right. All right, so to save you guys, wait, hold on, slow down. What I'm going to do is, if you have a question, stand up, and we'll just try to go through the room this way. So you have to decide right now.
How much time do we? And when do we go till?
We literally have 20 minutes.
Okay, no, we can do this. We can get through.
Yeah, we'll be reasonable.
So yeah, what we'll do is if you're standing up. Obviously, you guys are back. I'm just going to pretend like you're not asking
hold the camera or you want Alex?
Same on this side. So we're just going to try to make our way across the room. Is that cool? All right, so we'll start with you, and we'll work our way backwards. No, this guy, right there.
Oh, me? Oh.
Yeah, you're on that side. Wait, start this way.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, man.
Yeah, hey, that's I gotta ask, after the events of Frontiers, what do you think you see Sonic after that? Possibly with the new mainline game coming out within the next few years.
Oh, just fighting Princess Zelda. Sonic versus Zelda, right? Like, I have no clue. So one of the weird things about us being voice actors, we're usually the last to find out. I think a lot of people, there's nothing funnier than when somebody says to me, like, you need to let Sega know. And I'm like, do you realize how this works? Like, I'm a hired gun. They bring us in at the very end of most things, so I would be the last to find out. I mean, really and truly, I don't know where they're going to go with things. I know they have so many neat things planned, and they've let me know like some of the ideas and things that they're thinking about for the future of the entire franchise. But there's never been a better time to be a Sonic fan. We've got Cinematic Universe, we've got the Sonic Prime series with Ben and Mac, we've got Ben doing the cinematic voice. We're still making more games. It's just insane. They've got Tales 2 on YouTube, that kind of thing. So they've got a lot of stuff planned. There is an absolute resurgence for what's happening with like that entire franchise. And I think Sega has really kind of like looked at this and thought, man, it's a global enterprise yet again. So where they're headed, I wouldn't know.
What do you hope to see?
Finding Zelda. Yes. Yeah. I think it would be really, really cool. I keep hearing this from the fan base, and I've heard it since 2010. It would be so neat if we could get another Sonic Adventure game. And yeah, and so whether or not whether or not I'm around when that happens, or if I would get to be a part of something like that, but I think it'd be kind of cool. I mean, the 35th anniversary of the character is coming up in 2026.
Let's go.
So it's crazy to think that for 35 years this character has existed, and it's nuts to be a part of it for as long, but I don't know. They rightfully and smartly don't tell us everything.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I got it.
Okay, thank you for coming back to Boston.
Thank you. Yeah.
My first time.
Yeah.
For sure. That was you. That was you. Yes.
2019.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on both Zelda and Sonic in terms of their characters' growth throughout the years, ever since their first appearance in their first video game?
So the question is, how has it grown?
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Oh, with the thoughts on
Since
it.
the very first video.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I short answer for Zelda would be she is continuously getting more and more fleshed out and given more dimension, and that is just the right way to go all around.
Absolutely.
So I'm very pumped about that evolution for her. Getting younger.
I mean,
she jumps around.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
but you know more about her, and that's the thing. Like, she's more of a real person. She's not a figurehead.
Yeah,
in the game.
she's got the dark and the light.
Right.
Two sides of the same coin. Inside.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me because I think back and I feel like Sonic has gotten a lot louder than in the first game. You want to hear the stupid joke?
Do it.
Okay, so I do a dead-on impression of classic Sonic. Do you want to hear it?
Let's go.
Thank you. That is horrible. You are all terrible. That is not funny. No, it's incredible. It's crazy. It's utterly surreal. It's crazy to think of where these things have come from. Like I said, I was 14 years old and playing that game, like when it came out, and just going, what, yeah. And now I'm 48. And
you look good though. You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, wait. 22. And no, to be a part of it, it's just, to see where it's come and where it's going to go. And like, there's a movie. It's just insane. So, it's incredible to see. It's from, honestly, from the passion of the fan base, of people that keep supporting these projects. Are just incredible.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, were you standing? No? You changed. He's like, I stood too long. You're good.
Can we?
Yeah,
come on.
Let's go.
Ask your question.
So I find it really interesting how both of you have had this past experience. So Roger, you voiced a character that's had many voices for many years, and Patricia, you took a character that's existed for many years, and you were the first voice in the cartoon that's a voice Zelda. And I was wondering how that was for each of you.
It's a great observation.
Well done.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, even though she had no voice, there was still a lot of expectation of what a voice would sound like, because people had their own voice for her in their minds. And I think what it always comes down to when it comes to acting and creating characters is you're coming from the script you have, and you can do research around that, which I did before voicing the character, but really what it comes down to is like you can synthesize that, bring it back, and then it's about the script and the team you have, the choices that you've already made to even just get that role, and you have to trust the director and where the team had creatively decided to go with that. So there is that trust. Not to say that it's not a lot of pressure to do these sorts of roles. It's really fun and exciting and requires a lot of, I think, like focus and stuff to stay on task with doing roles that have a lot of pressure around them. But yeah, it's really all about the work. You can't play the past. You really have to play what's right in front of you.
Well said.
So a very like solid question, because what's funny is the answer doesn't change much from my end as well. If I was to sit there and think, oh my gosh, Kevin Conroy, what am I doing in here? I can't believe I'm at Warner Brothers, and it's like, if I was to think about that while delivering whatever it is that we were going to be doing for Arkham Origins, for an example, or just what Jason, Jaleel, Ryan had already established, right, for Sonic, if I was to sit there and worry about those things as opposed to just really and truly like locking in with my director who has the ear of the client, and they are paying for the room, they're paying for me to be there. It's like my job is to execute for my director, and their job is to emulate what they would like to have happen from their client. And that's where I focused. Like, I literally just started focusing on Amanda Wyatt, was our director for Arkham Origins, and I just listened to what Amanda was telling me, because she has, very often, we rarely know the entirety of what we're working on, or the entirety of the story that's by design as well. And so the pressure of it is what you have to just kind of toss out. And understand too, I fully understand and I fully get when there have been other versions of characters that have been done by other actors in the past. There's nothing I want to do that wants to ruin it for anybody, and I fully understand what it's like when you go, oh, that's a change, that's a little different, and the only thing I can rely on is saying, I just want to do the best that I can do for my director in those scenarios and just rely on that, and then hope that the rest of it kind of like shakes down as it should. And I also understand when people are just kind of like, oh, you're not my first choice, but this, and you go, yeah, I get it. You grew up with something different. Now think about the people that are going to grow up with me or have heard my version, and you get to tell them why you like this other version, that kind of thing, and we can all be fans together. I just focus on what the director is saying and hope that it works out.
Respect.
And then blame them when it doesn't. What, my fault? I just did what my director told me to do. Yeah, exactly.
That guy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great question. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey Roger, it's great to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a big Sonic Boom fan. I love Sonic Boom. I love stuff like the Biggest Fan episode, the Misery parody where Sonic gets captured.
Oh yeah.
So spicy.
How fun was it to do a looser fourth wall breaking version of Sonic?
Amazing. We should have been paying them. We had so much fun on Sonic Boom. I think it comes through. Like, we literally had way too much fun recording those sessions. And it was just like all the fourth wall breaks, all that kind of stuff. Like the fact that they even like had us like mention Sehwani, you know, like that kind of thing. It was just a blast. Yeah, that was, I missed the show dearly. But it's great that it lives on Netflix, I think. Is it still like, you can watch? Yeah.
I'm glad that people are making memes out of it.
Oh yes,
and
plenty.
Patricia, great to see you again. Saw you in 2019.
Amazing. Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Great.
Glad you like booms. They're so much fun.
Hello.
So I want to know if you guys have ever gotten like into the lore, or like if you have like fan theories that people have kind of thought have like brewed.
Now they have to be very careful when they speak on this, because any fan theory that they're like, oh, this is interesting, people are like, that's real because they said it. So hypothetically, if there was a fan theory that you thought was funny, humorous, or interesting, what would it be? Hypothetically.
Hypothetically. I mean, all I could really speak to is like last year when the game came out, and I made some people ask like, are Link and Zelda in a relationship? And I'm like, well, they are in some kind of relationship. Clearly they have, and I didn't mean romantic.
Confirmed, they are married.
They
are married and expecting children.
And then, like, the headline was ripped out. It was like, voice actor confirms. And I was like, oh,
what I said.
That's not what I said. And I'm like, after that, I'm like, zoop. Just like, I love to hear people's versions of, and I also love when people just have their own stuff that they come up with. I mean, people come up with every kind of version of Zelda or characters in the game, and they come up and they give fan art and they create offshoot stories. I see so many of them. They're all interesting. I love that it's one big place where it's just left up for interpretation. That's kind of my favorite part about it.
That's cool. I like that.
I try not to dive too deep into that stuff. It's a frightening landscape.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's some stuff.
There are rules online,
like,
right?
No,
numbers that you know will exist if you dive too deep. Yes.
But no, very, very much aware. And but it's all. It just speaks to just like like how much people can find. Just they can lose themselves in this stuff, and it's amazing. And a lot of that is out of my control because it's the really, really talented writers and folks that have done so much to make these characters what they are, as opposed to just doing voiceover. So, is that diplomatic enough of an answer?
Absolutely. Well played.
How about this weather in Boston? Am I right? Wow.
Yes. I like it.
Wow. So there's fan fiction, you say? Interesting.
Do not look up the relationship between Sonic and Robotnik. You don't want to know.
Yes.
Question for Roger.
Yes.
Speaking of acting like characters and voice actors,
yes.
You used to voice Chris Redfield.
I did, yes, back in the day.
Have you actually
No. Like people ask, like you know, the sound that I should have made with, like, you know, Chris Redfield punches a boulder in RE5, and they were like, did you change like the sounds you made for like punching a boulder versus just punching in general? I was like, I think I might have asked Liam or Stephanie, who was directing us on that project, like if I should change it up, because I was thinking in my mind, I'm like, so let me get this straight. We're punching like a small rock, or he's like, no, it's pretty much a boulder like the size of the room, and I'm like, okay, wouldn't that kind of sound like this? Ah! Why did I do that? Oh, no, I can't even shoot a gun now. Oh, don't tell Wesker, don't tell Wesker. No, so we just went with, yes. No, the boulder punching thing, it's just, it'll never end. I finally found out that, and he was supposed to be here, and I know that he had to cancel, but that Neil Newbon was the one who says, like, in one of the last, Resident Evil games, that he refers to Chris Redfield as that boulder punching a-hole.
Wow.
And I was like, that was Neil? Said that about my?
And he didn't even know why. He didn't know why he was referring to you that way. And he's like, wait, you? And he's like, I had this line. And
and I was like, you were the one who, And then he found out that I was the voice of Mission Control in Helldivers 2. And like on stage, he was like, wait, you're the voice of Mission Control. He's like, I love Helldivers 2. That's not a good Neil.
No, that's spot on, actually.
You're the voice of Mission Control from Helldivers 2. That's a spot on Neil Newbon. We all know it. We know it. No, what was the question?
So fast.
Thank you so very much. Appreciate that.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
I think we're doing it. We're doing all right, right? Are we doing it? Okay. I want to make sure.
So I had a question for both of you.
Yes.
It kind of building on the question I was asking earlier, but there's been so many different versions of Sonic and Zelda, and I was curious if you weren't able to voice your version of Sonic and Zelda, which past versions of you voiced?
What?
So, see, I can answer this because she doesn't have voices, so it's not like that. Twilight Princess. And that's also because I read Twilight Princess Highlane as well, and I always go back to that. It's such a beautiful, it's so beautiful. I love that, the game and the aesthetics of that game. So.
Okay, fine. Classic Sonic. No,
You already did the voice for Classic Sonic. It's
so funny. It would have been fun to think if there could have been a time to approach some of the other characters. Honestly, doing Sonic for Sonic Boom and getting to do Dave the Intern, which was hilarious because he was such a departure from Sonic in so many ways. But it'd be fun to go back and do a Silver or a Shadow or a Metal or something just a bad guy. I like doing bad guys. They're fun. I like it. I don't know. That's so tough because those other versions have been established and they are what they are. And it's I don't know. I don't know that I would want. What's that?
You don't want to fill in for
No, and I can't. It's again, you look at that and you go, yeah, but it was a different era and a different time, and it would have been a completely different staff and a different thing. So it's leave it alone. It's great. Leave all that stuff. It is what it is. It's the idea of going back, I wouldn't want to touch it because then it's one of the reasons why I think fans would be oh, you're not or you're not this. It's yeah, because I can't do that. I do what I do, and we're doing what we're doing now. So I don't know, it's a tricky question. Yeah. I'd probably just leave well enough alone.
Fair. All right, we've got 5 minutes.
Oh,
Speed round.
I thought we had more time. Sorry. We can do it.
Speed round. You ready? Okay, we're going to start here. We're going to go down the line. All right, let's go.
I just want to know, has there ever been a role that you just weren't happy doing?
Ooh.
Man, this weather in Boston is
so
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loony.
It tends to more have to do with if teams aren't fun and not treating you well or something like that. I would say more TV stuff, really. That's been my video games have generally been okay. But yeah.
It can go that way.
Yeah,
there have definitely been projects where you're kind of all right, we're gonna get through this day.
Never mentioned it.
Oh, of course not.
That's not true. Yeah.
No, it's just kind of yeah. Anyway, moving right along. Yeah. No, definitely, yeah. For the job's sake, yeah.
Good job.
Good question.
Yes.
Tricky.
Hey, it's great to meet you both. I was just wondering, from both of you, what's your favorite Sonic games and what's your favorite Legend Zelda games?
I'll go sure. Okay, so yeah, I mean the ones I've played. Well, Ocarina of Time. Really like Ocarina of Time. I'd say that's up there, big time. I like these snaps. I grew up with the original, so that always has a place in my heart. And then I really love Breath of the Wild, and I haven't played much of Tears of the Kingdom, so I can't speak to it. But I really, really love the memes. And chill with the Korok war crimes, seriously. So,
I love Chili Dog of Time, Breath of the Hedgehog. One of my absolute favorites, yeah. They just got it right with that one, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah. The scratch and sniff thing, that feature was groundbreaking.
Someone's gonna
I love old school Sonic. Literally the very, very first one, just the side scrolling, Green Hill Zone.
That's awesome.
For me.
Good job. Hello.
I was wondering if you've heard of potentially your biggest fan, Chris Chan.
Oh no.
Oh no!
So the weather in Boston.
Yeah. You stood this entire time to ask that question?
You better. Yes.
There you go. Good answer.
There we go.
Hello.
Moving right along. Did you put him up to that question?
When it comes to recording game voiceover, like what percentage of that is like dialogue and stuff? And what percentage of it is just effort noises and like grunts?
So it depends on the game.
It
So
depends on the project.
Game. Yeah. Something like Rainbow Six might be, you know, sheets and sheets and sheets and sheets of, grunts and like yells for honor, stuff like that. Whereas Zelda's a dub, so most of it is dialogue, and then you have like maybe on Hyrule Warriors like a little bit more. But I don't know, warrior games, things like that. I mean, yeah, you can have entire games where you are simply just grunting and like exerting, and it's intense.
Yeah.
And the older you get, the more you're like, ooh.
Yeah. I literally just had to literally flying out here, I had to turn down an offer because it was going to be way too much screaming and yelling, and I was like, we can't do it. We can't. I won't be able to work for days. And it just makes no sense. Like, you take yourself out of the running for this, and it kills you as an actor to say no to anything like that. But yeah, and it just depends on the project. Like, something as massive as Assassin's Creed, one of the greatest projects I've ever worked on, because it was like, we did no battle chatter for Assassin's Creed, because they're like, well, no, he's an assassin. Everything is stealth. Right. So it's like if he was climbing a building going, I'm coming to kill you. It's like, it just wouldn't work very well. So they were like, yeah, no, he's like, this is the most I had to do for that game. I was like, yeah, all right, sign me up for that. Let's keep this going. Yeah, it depends on the project.
All right, so I apologize. We've got 1 minute left, so I need you all to ask your questions at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Oh gosh, Crush 40? Find Your Flame.
There you go.
Is that Find Your Flame?
Wait,
Hello.
Hello.
Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, who would you say would be most prone to enjoy listening to death metal?
Death metal. Knuckles, come on. It's Tails. Knuckles. It's Tails. Knuckles.
Colleen.
It's Tails. Between photography and voice acting?
Oh, if I had to like choose it all over again? As a career?
You can only choose
voice acting. I love photography, but voice acting is so much fun.
Nice.
It's so much fun. Good question. We can do it.
Other than yourself, favorite Sonic voice actor?
Oh, gosh. Ooh. The next one.
Good job! Are you running for office? Because I would vote for you with that maneuver. That was good.
I'll point like this from here on out for my
job.
thing. Like,
last one.
How about the next one?
I did it over a series of several months with coffee and my ABCs in the morning while I was recording the first game, quietly, kind of going, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to learn some Hylian. It seems like a good idea.
It is the most amazing thing I've ever witnessed, watching you sign and write words in Hylian. It's like, I just go...
As long as I'm not talking and writing at the same time, and then I write complete gibberish. But nobody would know, but it's okay.
That's true, that's true.
That's amazing. I love it. FanExpo Boston, make some noise one more time. And Patricia Summersett. Whatever do you mean?
What's the question about Chris Chan? That was
He's a comedian. Well, we got to ask our questions. How do you feel, bro? He was the first person.
I know. That was cool.
You know, how do you feel, bro?
Dude, I loved it, man.
Why didn't you ask a question, bro? Why didn't you stand up?
I asked him all the questions I wanted.
Oh yeah, the thing.
You remember we took a picture with him.
And he called me Hyman, bro. How you feel, Alex? He was the center of attention, bro. I mean,
I was the joke.
I mean, Roger basically said you're basically Sonic because you guys don't like your voices and being recorded.
Yeah.
How do you feel, bro?
Honestly, ecstatic.
I mean, Alexandra, you literally took it away, bro.
I did not take it away. Everyone did. It was a whole team effort in this. I'm surprised you didn't have an Assassin's Creed question. Oh no, because
Assassin's Creed.
You know, So, anyways, it was a blessing to have us Zelda fans and Sonic fans to unite as one, and you know, not care about the old school console wars and shit like that. I would say this: his last pick for his team should have been Ganon. It should have been Ganon, Ganon and Demise. There you go.
But for Alice, your first panel, how do you feel? Rated out of 10.
Well, first panel here, really fun.
Bro, I feel, you know what? I'm actually glad I never asked him about the boulder because I didn't know about the boulder.
The boulder?
Bro, that boulder. The freaking boulder.
No, one of my favorite. No, Leon. He's the guy that just punches boulders. His name every time.
Fucking Chris, man.
So, is it done?